Hello everyone, and welcome back to another of our video. Today we'll be continuing from where we left off in the last video, where we built our first EA using multiple indicators. So we combined the RSI indicator on the higher time frame with the crossover of the moving average on the lower time frame, and we came up with this. Okay, so we're going to now download our project, test our project, and see if it's going to do exactly what we asked it to do. Okay, so but before we do that, I just went and looked at quickly. Let's look at the market because I wanted it to have multiple examples. And what you notice is that, remember, for our bots, we set it to use the what do you call it, the RSI conditions. So let me get that. So the RSI buy was 70, or sell was 70, and the buy was 30, as you can see there. But then when I was looking at the chart, I just noticed that, the market barely crossed 70. So there were not going to be number of trades to see. And so what we'll do is we're going to use the RSI 65. I think that works best. Let's say 65 for the overbought, and then we're going to use 35 for the oversold. So when the daily is equal to or above 65, you can see there are a number of areas where that happens. It will look for a sell, and then when the daily is below or equal to 35, it will look for a buy. So this is, this is very, very good showcasing of why it's quite important that we declared our variable like this, because now we don't have to go and change our code. We can obviously modify or set our parameters from our back testing. You'll see that in a bit. So what we're going to just do now is go to our MT4, and we're going to go to our MT4, and then we're just going to back test. So remember, okay, just remember what was discussed, how you add your EA to your MT4, how you add your EA to your MT4. So what you want to do is just go to files, right? Go to open data folder, okay? So files, open data folder, and that's the folder in which you're going to put basically put in your EA on the MT4 expert folders. Okay, so we're just going to do that, and then we're going to test it together and see how that goes. Okay, so what you do is, so I already downloaded it from here. Remember how we download this? You just download the .ex4, the .mq4 file, and then on the MT4, go to file, then go to open data folder, and that will bring up the data folder like so. So I already opened this down. So let me just go back a little bit here. So it should take you to, when you come to open data folder, it will take you to MQL4. Let's see. Yeah, it will take you to the folder like this. And what you want to do is click on MQL4, then click on experts, then paste your code there. So what we're just going to go and do now is copy what we downloaded, and that's a RSI. So I'm just going to cut it, then go back and paste it. Okay, so just cut and paste, or copy and paste, whichever you want to do, it's fine. And then what we'll do, we come back to our MT4, we're going to right click, refresh, okay? And then it should show up. So we now, under class test projects, where did I post it? Okay, I posted it, okay, let one with just this, cut it and paste it again. Cut, you know what, let's just move this whole thing to class test projects, okay? I'll just right click and refresh again. So we have our RSI+EMA backtest, our bots that we just downloaded. So what you want to do is just go and open the strategy tester window, go to strategy tester view, then strategy tester, or you just press Ctrl-R to bring it up as a shortcut. And then what we're going to do is select our EA, the one we just added. It's going to be under class test projects, and then RSI plus this. We're going to use it on Euro USD. Now, remember, just like I mentioned, okay, not this. Remember, just like I mentioned, where is that? Where's that? Okay, that's here. We're going to, what the bot was built on was with the default value was the buy RSI was 30 and the sell RSI was 70. And what we're going to just do now is basically go to expert properties, right? So it's, expert properties, we're going to, this is just testing value. So under inputs, You can see here we have RSI buy, HFT RSI buy, sorry, HTF RSI buy, HTF RSI sell. The default value is 30 and 70. We're going to just change this value here. I already changed it, so we're going to just change it to 35, right, and 65. The reason is so that we can have more trades. You can leave it as 30 and 70. Just I want to be able to see that we're having more trades, and then you see what's exactly going on, and then you can modify the stop loss, take profits, the lot size. Let's just, let's be greedy and let's just use 1 lot per trade, okay, and see how that goes, okay. And then on the $10,000 account, and then we'll click OK. So what we'll do now, we're going to test it from January 1st, 2023 to August 31st, 2023, and then we'll just click on Start. So this is loading. What we're going to do is, what we're going to just simply do now is just, load up, just so that we can see it visually, okay. The time frame is on the 1 hour time frame. So you're going to see me switching between this MT4 and the web-based trading application, so that we can see the daily time frame as opposed to in conjunction with the, okay, I think we can do that here, in conjunction with the 1 hour time frame. So if it takes a buy or a sell, if it takes a buy on the 1 hour time frame, it will be because the moving average cross. Okay, so I think we can just add the moving average so we can see that. So let's add the 10 moving average. Let's also add the 20 period moving average, and let's make this yellow. Okay, so notice that it won't take any trades just because the moving average are crossover, but it will only take those trades in relation to whether the daily is overbought or oversold. So let's see, there's a crossover, no trade. Okay, so let's just keep going. Let's see where it picks its first trade. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's see. So in the meantime, this whole idea here is how we go between okay, so it took a trade there, so we're going to look at that in a bit. But you see, we combine multiple what we just did in this part, in this section of the video is just we combine multiple indicators to form the condition for one or for a buy or a sell action. So notice that it took a sell here, and it took the sell. So let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe we can see that better. So it took a sell here when this moving average crossed over. So the 10 period moving average crossed below the 20. But moving average has been crossing over since. It did not take a sell or a buy. Now, what date is this? This is January 13th. So I'm just going to open another MT4 here. And we'll just go and, okay, you know what? Let's add another indicator. Let's add the relative strength index, 14 periods. We're going to just set it to the way it is. And no, let's set the value to what's the levels. So instead of 30, we're going to make it 35, and we're going to make this 65. Okay, and then click OK. Okay, so we're going to just go and look for 13s. Remember, we're looking for where it picked. This is the trade here. You can see the dates down there. That's 13th January 2023. So let's look at the daily. We want to see that the daily is overbought, right? Or is above 65. So 13th, this is July. Where is January? So this is January. This is January here, 2023. This is January 4th. So this is January 17th. This is January 13th. So this candle here, you look at my crosshair. Okay, let me zoom in even further. Okay, and let's go back here. This is November. Let's go back to January. So this is January. Okay, so this here, so crosshair. This is January, this is February, and this is January. Okay, so this is it here. Right, this is January, so this is January 13th. Okay, so we would, let me use this to draw. So look at this candle here. This candle here is January 13th. And remember, it looks, and this is a daily chart, mind you. It wants to get involved in a sell, the daily needs to be equal to or above, equal to or below or above 65. Okay. Let's see. Are we above 65 here? It's not above. Okay. Okay, the previous day. Okay, so look at this. If we just trace this down, there's, okay, seems it's probably our RSI. We did not set the values right, but I'll probably go and look into that. But this RSI is actually above 65. Okay, and that's the reason why when the moving average crossed over on the 13th of January, it looked to take a sell. And that's why if we come back here, you can see that we had a sell trade here. Okay, so let's just continue playing price and see how it goes. Let's just keep playing price so we don't spend all time here. And remember, you also, okay, plus. So remember, you'd also have access to this bot, so you can also test it for yourself for test purposes. Now, this is still the 13th. Okay, this is the 17th of January. The daily should still probably be overbought because the market doesn't just switch that easily. So 17th will be what date? Something is wrong. Something is wrong here because this time frame they don't align. So let me zoom in a little bit. I think I probably made a mistake in this RSI setting. Let's just do that. RSI 65.35, I think. Okay. Applies to, what was it applied to? Was it applied to close or was it applied to okay. Now, don't worry, I'm just going to proceed with the testing, but you have an idea of what I'm trying to say. Remember, I'm looking at this. I'm trying to show you the visual of what it's actually doing, and that's why it's messed up. It's kind of like mixing up here. But it's because the market is still overbought, right? On the daily, that's the reason why, even though there's a crossover bullish, it's not buying. It's only interested when the crossover bearish happens, and that's why it took a sell here and also took another sell here. So let's just play price so we don't spend price. Let's just see how this continues to move and see how it turns out at the end. So if you go to your graph, you'll see that, you know, it's the equity curve is going down and then it's still taking sell. So this is January 23rd. 23rd of January. Oh, where is 23rd? This February. And this is, am I looking at this right? Okay, this is 2022. Okay. Hey, I was wondering. I was looking at 2022. So this, I was wondering what's going on because this now is 2022, not 2023. And we're testing for 2023. So 2023 should be somewhere here because it was very confusing for me because that shouldn't be happening. So what we'll do is, let's just scroll back to where 2023 is, January. So this is 2022, this is 2022, still 2022. And then this is 2023, yeah. So let's go back and look for January 13th. This is January 23rd. This is exactly. So now you can see this candle here is, this big one here is January 13th. And you can see that the previous day, so that's January 12th. This big candle is January 12th. And at that time, at the close of that candle, the market was overbought. It was above 65. And that's why it looked for sell here, right? Now, even though the market, the trades end up being in losses, it was doing exactly what we asked it to do. And then you can see here, the market is still overbought, right? The market is still overbought here. And if you track that date upwards, if we track that date upward here, that would be 26th. And that was the reason why you see it took multiple sells here when the conditions were met. Okay, I hope that's making sense. I hope it wasn't so confusing. So we would expect it to look for another trade if the conditions. So at this point here, if you trace it down, you'll see that the market was still overbought here, right? So we'll expect it to look for a sell. If there's a crossover on the entry time frame. So let's go back and see if we get that. And that should be on the, what time is that? What date is that? That should be February 1st. So on February 2nd, we should begin to expect to see possibly possible sales. So let's just keep playing price and see how that goes. So now this is still 26, so it's still within that time frame. This one, what did it do? It hit profit. So you can see, let's just keep playing price and let's keep going. We took another trade on this. So this is February 2nd now. Where's that? This is February 2nd. So if you go back here, February 2nd is this, right? So the market has been overbought from February 1st. So it's still looking for sell trades. I'm just going to play pride. I'm not going to post it too much so we can just see that. So we can now see that it's doing exactly what we asked it to do. So if the price goes, if the moving average crossover and then crossover down, we can probably expect it to look for those trades once the conditions are met. So let's just keep playing and see how that goes. So this is now February 17th. If I go back here, next one we're looking for is the buying condition, which is around February 24th. So let's just keep looking at it and see. So it took a buy. That date, you can see 27th, end of hitting profits. Let's look at what the graph curve is looking like. So it's, now remember the whole idea, the bone of contention for me with regards to this is not about whether it's profitable or not. It's about showing you how you can do something like this. Okay, so I'm just going to let it play and in the background. And at the end of it, probably what I'll do is I'll pause it and then I won't pause it. I'll let it play and you'll see how it runs. And yeah, so this is March. We're getting close to August. So what I'm going to just do, go back. I think this will be better. So you just go back, and while that one is still running in the background, let's go and see, well, just basically a quick review of what we did. If the daily is overbought and the moving average on the, let's say the 1 hour or entry time frame crosses over to the bullish side or to the bearish side, it will look to sell. Similarly, if the daily is oversold and the moving average crosses to the bullish side, it will look to buy. And this is exactly what we did. We checked if there are no trades. We set the condition for the RSI on the higher time frame, and then we set the condition for the crossover for buy on the entry time frame, and then we set our buy instructions as regards to lot, stop loss, and take profits, and all of those things. And this is, we declared our variables so that we can modify it. And one of the key importance of doing that is so that we can then modify. So if, for instance, you're backtesting and you're saying that, okay, usually when the market moves, it moves. So we're using 1:2 as our risk to reward. And you're like, okay, 1:2, maybe I should try 1:3. So you can just go and modify your take profits from, 40 pips or 80 pips to like 120 pips or stuff like that, or reduce your stop loss. You're trying to backtest and see exactly how it goes with that. Okay. So let's just, I think this is May, and I'm just going to pause the video now and come back when it's done. Okay, so we're getting close to the end, so I'm just going to let it play out, and yeah, let's see what our graph curve looks like. Our 10K account is now 11K, so anyway, that's not the point. We'll just see through, and then that should be it. Remember, I'll provide the link to be able to download this particular bot on the class work section, on the classroom section. This bot, the way I set it, to only work on ANZO. It only work on ANZO Capital. So yeah, if you don't have an account, use the link in the description to create an account, and then you can test it. So let's see what we ended up with. Our bot ended up at almost 13,000 from 10,000, which is started with, and not bad. You can modify this a little bit, but yeah, I guess you get the idea, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't fail to leave a like and also ensure you subscribe. Let's try and get to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a wonderful day.